Hey, BIS 301. Wanted to send out an emergency video. I normally do Sunday night videos. Want to get this one going. First, let me start by saying all maps 1 that have been turned in through today have been scored. Many of you have probably not liked your score, I'm guessing. If you have any questions or want to get into specifics about why it was scored the way it was, please let me know. Okay, I'll be happy to set up a phone call. Um, I don't like to email back and forth everything, so phone we can um, talk about it if you want to know what's going on with that. I hope to be able to clear up some things in this video. Um, and let's see, what else was I going to say about all that? Yeah, if you do email me, make sure you put your section number in the subject line or in the body right away so I know who I've got. I have a lot of students this semester, a lot of BIS 301. So if you give me your section number, I'll be able to connect it quicker to your question. All right? And make sure you use your ASU email, okay? I reserve the right not to respond to any non-ASU email because, frankly, I don't get all non-ASU email. It goes to my spam folder and I don't see it, okay? Let's take a look at some of the more common issues, okay? Now, APA format. A lot of people got dinged hard on that. Can't say you weren't warned, okay? I had to stomach my own videos earlier today just to make sure I had things covered like this. So, Times New Roman, 12-point font, okay? That is required, okay? Paragraph indents. Now, I shouldn't be saying anything to anybody that's rather difficult, okay? I mean, I've worked in high schools, I've taught in high schools, I continue to teach and substitute in high schools, and the seniors and juniors in high school that I talk to, I try to always tell them, please know how to format a paper. And they look at me like I'm crazy, like, why wouldn't we know how? And yet I come to a college classes and so many students don't know how, or what I think it might be is they just don't take it seriously. And it's an important part of your work as an academic to be able to know how to have that formatting. It's a discipline, as we get into disciplines again, to be self-disciplined. Okay, if you're watching me right now, what I'd like you to do, if you're watching this video, it's important. Write down the number 504. That's 504 if you're watching. I'll talk about more of about that later, okay? All right, so APA format, Times New Roman, 12-point font, paragraph breaks, double line spacing, name on the paper, name in the file name, okay? All right, title page, cover page not necessary, abstract not necessary, okay? Simple. Name on the file name, name in the paper. Have I said Times New Roman 12-point font, double line space? Okay, good. All right, that's a big issue. Citations, in-text citations. Okay, I've said this, I said ad nauseum. In-text citations, don't guess how to do it. I've given you the resources and the tools to know how to cite. Okay, I wasn't born knowing how to cite. In fact, I made it to my 52nd year without knowing how to cite. Okay, so it's not like I'm sitting here a big old veteran knowing how to citation. I had to dig it up and learn it myself too. Okay, citations do not start sentences. I know what you're saying. I don't do citations that start sentences. But guess what? If you put the punctuation and then the citation, you're using it to start the next sentence, okay? All right? Citations come before the punctuation, come after the quotation marks, if that's what it is, okay? Learn what you need in APA formatting. It's in there, okay? Author's last name, comma, year, space in there, okay? Parentheses. If you don't do it, you're getting dinged, period. You'll see structure, grammar, format, spelling is just as important in the rubric as far as points go as many other categories. All right, many people just don't take it seriously. Okay, I'd like you to write down the number 910, okay, 910. Okay, thanks. I'll get back to that in a little bit here. All right, So now, let's see, APA format. All right. The bibliography itself. All right. Um, Sources, citations, works cited, bibliography, um, sorry about that, indented paragraph. I mean hanging paragraph, hanging paragraph, hanging paragraph. Do you know what a hanging paragraph is? Many people don't know. I've said it again. I don't know how many times. It's written down so many places in this class. A hanging paragraph. If you don't know what it is, figure it out, okay? All right, but you're gonna get dinged if you don't use a hanging paragraph format for your bibliography, okay? And that's in MLA or APA, okay? All right. Now, as far as substance, which is important, obviously, but you can tell that I'm a freakily obsessed with structure and format. I am because you're in university now, and this is not about just guessing. It's not about high school. It's none of that. So let's tighten it up a bit. You can do better. I know you can. I want you to be able to take it up a notch and be proud of your work. Okay. By the way, Maps 2 now due on Tuesday night, right? Isn't that what I said? No, Wednesday night. No, Tuesday night, the 13th. Okay. So that should give you a little extra time. If you need to be late, be late. I'm not offended by late work. Okay. You got things to do. Make the decision. Make the choice. All right. It's only 9 points if you're late. Is it worth 9 points for you? You know, to be late, or are you going to slap something together and turn in on time? I don't know. Take your choice, chances. Okay. Substance. Very important. Look at the examples. I couldn't have made it simpler for anybody. I could have made it simpler. There's examples in the modules of what a Maps 1, Maps 2, Maps 3 paper look like. It's not a difficult concept to think, hey, if my paper looks just like this, with the same headings exactly, and my name instead of that name, and everything exactly the same except what I'm going to write about, then I got to have it made, right? You would, right? So why, when it says subfields, are you calling it subsets? Where's subsets in there, okay? All right, why, when I'm telling you these papers are not about you, you're giving me, I believe this, I took it because of this, I think that. Where is that? When it says research material, where are the citations? When you're giving me anecdotal stories about how you feel that professors don't do this or they do this, this is just an opinion. It's absolutely meaningless in a paper like this. Step up your game to an academic level. Understand that you're in the learning phase. We all are, but you're learning about. My job is to teach how to do interdisciplinary studies and what it's about. But I'm still learning about it. You're learning about your fields. You're not the voice of your field yet, okay? So you need to pull those scholars, experts, foundational material, and use that to back up what you're saying. So when you tell me what accounting is, you should have a source in there that says, that's backing you up, because you're not an expert in accounting. All right, you're not a scholar in academic yet. I'm trying to have you pull information out to learn about your concentrations. And a lot of people apparently think that I want to know what you know about them already. No, these assignments are for you to dig into your work, your concentrations further, to get to know them better, to learn them on your own. Just because a professor's not there spitting it out to you doesn't mean you can't be a self-learner here. That's what you're doing. All right? And that's a life skill, obviously. Okay, last number I want you to write down is 526. Okay? Now, I drag this out 10 minutes? No. Yeah, about that. Okay. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, get back to me, okay? This is just a really basic video, but I really want to emphasize these things because so many people just dropped the ball on formatting. They just either didn't care, ignored what I was saying, aren't reading the instructions. That's where this video comes in those numbers. If you can email me those 3 sets of numbers, I'll know that you've gotten this far on the video. And if you do that, I'm going to add 10 points to your Maps 1, okay? See, now that's what I got to do is like hold a carrot at the end of a stick to let people, for people to acknowledge that they're watching my lectures, which, you know, it is what it is. You don't have to buy the textbook, you don't have to read anything, you don't have to watch anything, but you're going to fail a class and you're going to have to take it over again. It doesn't sound too smart to me. But in this case, I just want to get some ideas. This is going to be this may or may not be a habit, but I just want to get some idea, you know, if people watch it to the end, okay? So thanks very much. Let me know, again, questions, comments, concerns. I'm here to answer them. I was tough on everybody, I admit it. But that's because by the time you get to Maps 2 and 3, and then BIS 302, I want you guys to know that you earned it, okay? And you feel good about yourself. You can just skate through, okay? See ya. Forks up.